Good morning and welcome to my channel Study and Grow. Today we are going to discuss Indianness in Sarojini Naidu poetry. Let's begin. Sarojini Naidu was known as Bharat Kokila, the Nightingale of India, and was a freedom fighter and poet. In 1905, the first volume of her collection of poems was published as The Golden Threshold. Two more volumes were published, The Bird of Time and The Broken Wing. The most striking feature of Sarojini Dixon is her use of vivid and sensuous imagery. The most characteristic quality of Naidu poetry, besides its lyrical wealth, is its purely Indian character. She is the poetess of Indian thought and sensibility. Her themes relate to Indian fauna and flora, Indian customs and traditions, festivals and celebration, Indian men and women, Indian myths and legends, Indian markets and bazaars, fair and feast. To a great extent, her poetry is a mirror to India, not the industrialized India, but the Victorian India full of peace and calm. The landscape, the characters, the images, and the milieu in her poems are typically Indian. Her aspiration, longings, moods, vision, and expectation are Indian in her poem. The fairy Isle of Janjira, despite the poet's admiration and the fascination for the beautiful island in the Arabian Sea, about 50 miles from Bombay, the poet does not ignore her duty towards her motherland rule, enraged by a foreign ruler. Similarly, in the poem Indian Waivers, also Indianness quality can be found, as she had described the mystery of life and also the hard work of the Indian people. Weaving is one of the most important of the folk vocations in India, and the weavers are important for character. She discusses the most important stage of human life, that it poses birth, marriage, and death in this poem. Naidu draws the realistic picture of Indian people life style. Similarly, Naidu presents Indian mysticism in To a Buddha Seated in a Lotus. She has gone through gay and sad experiences in her life, so she longs to know the secret to life, death, and love. Into a Buddha seated on a lotus, the fever of regret, the fervor of longings fuse into strength and mystic power. For us, travel and the heat, the broken secrets of our pride, the strenuous lessons of defeat, the flower deferred, the fruit denied, but not the peace supremely won, Lord Buddha of thy lotus throne. Therefore, the poems of Naidu are romantic, but they depict Indian scenes and sights. The folk songs are not rude, they are full of lyricism, simplicity, and rhythmic beauty. Of all these, the most famous is The Indian Weavers, a poem of deep symbolic beauty. Similarly, Indian atmosphere and contemporary scenes get clear expressions in the poetry of Sarojini Naidu. She has an aim at presenting the community life rather than rendering of an individual life or character. Thus, the poetry of Naidu is deeply rooted in Indian real and sensibility. In her poetry, Sarojini depicts the Indian characters very skillfully. Those figures are true to their motherland. Those characters are set to Indian tunes. For example, her Blaze song brings out Indian Blaze women. She goes to the Panghat to get some water. She is eager to meet her lover. Her feelings, her worries, Her expressions are typical of an Indian woman. Along with this characterization, the Indian maze can be seen in her philosophical touch to the poetry also. She was a true lover of India. India was in her blood, and she loved her motherland seriously, which gets reflected in the poem To India. In the first stanza of the poem, she calls motherland as O young through all thy immortal years, rise mother, rise generated thy, and like a bride high mated with spears gloom, we get new glories from thy ageless home. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.